Hello, everybody. My name is Suede, and I'm here with my co-caster, Tigers.
How's it going, folks? We are going to jump into a future game here. Suede has done some work on the map, and we have 3, 4, and 5. So Radbag, Cheese, and Abby versus Witch, Ant, and Halu.
Yeah, so this is a game of Future Start multiplayer for people who aren't familiar. And already we see some luck coming out from Rabdag, who has a nice pop near his very good capital right here, Mecca. Look at that cow. Beautiful.
You gotta love a good cow.
So I'm going to take some time to go through each of the start locations. We have Antman over here with probably the roughest start. It's a plain start, but good capital. We have Rabdag up here with the cow. So it's 3-4-5. Okay, they're on opposite teams.
So
These two.
it's the top. It's really the top of the map.
Oh yeah, top versus bottom. Okay, I think we know what we're gonna call our teams then. Team Team top and team bottom is a little weird. Maybe team up, team down.
Team North and South, maybe.
Yeah, team north versus team south.
Little Civil War reenactment here.
And just like in the Civil War, the Egyptians have lots of wines.
Of course, of course.
Well, because of the Union cotton blockade, they were able to sell all their cotton at an inflated price to the English, and they probably bought a lot of wines with that, so it all makes sense.
That's right.
Okay.
Here we have in the south, obviously, some decent land from Halu and also a pop from him.
Yeah, I think this is going to be like a 1v3 or a 1v5 game from Halu based on the starts. He's got a fantastic start location, fantastic pop. This is actually on freshwater, so it can grow to size 7 without a granary.
Yeah, that's really nice.
He's got some jungle and some marsh to deal with, but he's industrious, so he's well equipped.
And he's got pretty easy rails as well.
Oh, true. Yeah. The coal and the iron. I wonder if he went fascism. So if you're industrious with fascism, for people who don't know, you get 1 per turn rails. Like you can rail in 1 turn. He went Republic, though, so not going to be relevant.
He might not have scouted it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I probably wouldn't send my king straight into the jungle first thing.
Yeah.
Probably go somewhere where I have movement.
And then where's Witches down south?
Yeah.
He's got an okay start.
He's not coastal and he's out of position, so I'm wondering if he's going to be able to actually do anything here. He's got good growing land, so if he grows big, he could be a big factor late game, but...
Yeah, probably the best thing for him would be grow big, and maybe if Halu lets him have that oil and just start funneling bombers north.
True,
yeah,
good point.
Because Halu has the other oil north, so...
Yeah. So one of the additions I made to this map was Luxury Island. We'll see if any of the players partake in this.
The classic. Suede, you always do that, and almost never.
I always do some goodies on the islands, yeah.
Suede just loves islands.
Yeah, so Antman, I think he did go for fascism. Oh, he's still an anarchy.
Does Ant ever go Republic?
He's a big proponent of fascism in Civ 3 Future, which is unorthodox, to say the least. But what I was saying is, since he's industrious, and if he goes fascism, then if Halu passes rails, he will have the 1 per turn rail. So he'll be able to rail twice as fast as any other player on the map.
Yeah, definitely. And I imagine that Ants will be able to get a harbor up pretty quickly here. So.
Oh yeah, militaristic civs have half-priced harbors, and he's coastal.
Right. Yeah, and he's got that fish there, so it's not a bad idea at all.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is what I'm thinking from Team South. We're gonna have Halu putting his big boy carry pants on, and then probably roading north to hook these resources, the rails, and the aluminum eventually, and making plays versus Cheese and Abimanyu. Whereas Antman and which are probably going to grow big. Antman might do some boating play against Rabdag. That wouldn't surprise me. But he's not going to be a big factor in the mid game, I don't think.
Yeah, and this is not a great map for boating.
Well, it's
I think
Pangea.
a lot of these players like to boat, but on a Pangea it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I can see Radbag or maybe Ant doing it, but
yeah, we'll see if they do. If I was Rabdag, this is kind of awkward going around the corner.
Yeah, it's definitely rough.
Mm-hmm. If I was like coastal here, I might go for it. But
do you want to check to see if anyone's still in Anarchy?
Oh, good point. So it's turn 6. I hope they're out of Anarchy. Otherwise, they forgot to.
Yeah.
They forgot to switch altogether.
And so mostly Republic we're seeing from the governments too.
Yeah. Okay. So early development, Team North has three pops, and these are solid pops. So generally, a good pop is one that's close to your capital. Not only is it less corrupt, but it also means it's not so much of a liability to try to defend, because those early Tau boats can be very sneaky on you if you get a pop far away.
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes you see players actually deleting those cities.
Yeah. There's also like the superstition that if you abandon a pop city, you're guaranteed to pop on the next hut. I don't know how true that is, but people swear by it.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah,
Which player do you like the most so far in terms of position?
in decision making or in terms of position.
Just overall like ability to carry the game later.
Hmm. Well, I think Abimanu, he's got this pop which is a little far away, but I think it's very safe because none of these two players are coastal, and Antman's quite far away and he's non-seafaring.
Yeah.
So I think with the mech pop city and the high commerce here and the good civ, like Egypt is a fantastic builder civ. Abimanu could do some good work later on. Halu, of course, as mentioned with the rails, he's going to have some difficulties in the early mid game, I think, because he gets high growth from the floodplains, but he doesn't have a ton of production right off the bat.
Yeah, I think his real challenge would be clearing the land immediately north to him, because that has some of the best resources. You got the dyes, and you
Yeah.
obviously have the coal and the oil there.
But I mean, for that,
But
you're
if
going
you
to
can
need a
clear
lot of
that,
workers and a lot of settlers, so it'll have to be a
yeah,
priority for him.
exactly. I think fascist would have actually been a decent choice for him,
Mm-hmm.
but he probably did not know the full lay of the land here.
Yeah, I mean, it's
But
easier
Republic is
for
so
us to say
strong,
from
so
our ivory towers, but like, I mean,
exactly.
let's say he popped like 50 gold from huts and he can get a free runner if he goes Republic. Well, yeah.
Maybe your ivory tower, Suede. I'm in like a wooden shack here.
Yeah, this is my ivory tower right here, Rome.
Yeah, Rome's looking pretty good.
I think this might be the ivory tower, but yeah, the
Yeah, Rome's
commerce in
looking
Rome looking
pretty.
pretty thick.
Damn. Yeah, that commerce is pretty thick.
So yeah, we talked a bit about what we expect from Team South. What would you expect in terms of opening plays from Team North, based on what you know about the players? Oh, sorry, this is Cheese here. Abby's up here. My mistake.
Yeah. I would say pretty normal start. Abby Manu, I would say, is a very solid mid to late game player, so we'll probably see some pretty standard development out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Cheese, I don't actually know what Cheese is really known for. I've seen him get really aggressive with his city plants, and I think that could be something risky against Halu. So I would say a lot of this game might depend on how Cheese can hold out against Halu's advances up until the point that Abby Manu can come in.
Yeah, I mean,
And
with the mechs, he could get early military priority here, send some mechs down here, and like secure these resources.
yeah, exactly. But we'll see if he does that. I've seen him go pretty heavy on the city plants before,
Mm-hmm.
which is a risky strategy, but could work out.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess it's a good time to talk about the two newer players in our community, Cheese and Rabdeg. They joined at about the same time. They are roughly the same skill level. It varies from game to game, and they've both gotten quite good quite rapidly. So they love to be on the same team, and they're on the same team now. We'll see if there's that synergy now. I think they are in Discord together, so we'll see if that plays into things.
Yeah, I actually see their entire team is on Discord. So it's Cheese, Abby,
Oh, good,
and
nice.
Ravdag there. And looks like Ava is listening in.
Okay, here you see the settler coming out from Rabdeg. There's an early settler, but he's in a safe position. Oh, Antman actually got a pop. Okay, that's good. That
Pretty
evens
far,
things out a
though.
bit. He's walking it
Uh,
inland too.
that could be useful, though, because of that oil. If he can get some bombers up to that northern city, he might be able to directly bomb Ravdag without having to
True.
even construct an airbase.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. So the horses in future actually give +1 food, so he's gonna be able to get some quick workers out of that city. How is it bugged? Jeez. Well, we'll see about that. I hope Ant-Man doesn't lose his pop
Huh.
if we have to reload. So yeah, basically the debate here is between do you want the coastal city or do you want the lake city? The lake city is better late game for the freshwater. Yeah, I think if you're fascism,
I would probably go Lake because, frankly, I think the growth is pretty important. And if you're going to crank
mhm.
workers out of the city, which is what I would do with that city, at least at the start, then I would say growth. Plus, he's already coastal. Like Ant already has his capital for producing ships.
Mhm. Okay, I appreciate
What
that. Yeah,
what is the issue that Cheese is facing?
his explorer won't move.
Oh, his explorer won't move. That's an odd bug.
Yeah, we'll just pretend that it died. I think.
Okay.
So
Well, it's
yeah.
not. He's probably done a fair bit of exploring, so
Mhm. I think Antman did get the late explorer. That's why he struggled to pop a bit. He was lucky he got the pop where he did, and he has not yet scouted cheese or Rabdag, crucially.
yeah. Yeah, I would say Halu versus Cheese will be an interesting matchup, and then obviously the other one being is Ant Man versus Rabdeck.
Yeah, and they both seem. None of these seem like completely one-sided based on the land and positioning. So,
No, is that a civil disorder from Halu?
oh, the rare mess up from him.
Oh no, disaster! Exposed on stream. That's the worst.
Yeah, the all-seeing eye of Suede and Tigers sees everything. So I was going to say the interesting thing here is that because he got I think he had a long anarchy ant, and he went to the south first with his explorer.
Is
So he didn't
yeah,
actually get around to scouting Rabdeck or making contact with his team before he planted Shanghai. So that lack of information, like if he has like oil, rubber, aluminum within his cap, then obviously this is a bad plant and he should just walk it south. But he didn't have the luxury of
yeah.
that information when he made that decision.
Yeah, frankly, I think he got a little lucky to even get a pop at that point. I'm a
Yeah.
little surprised. I mean, I think Radbag was almost close to getting it. So
Yeah. It's good for him. Yeah, I mean that's one of the other reasons I feel Future is very RNG dependent because like not only does the late anarchy slow down your entire build like your granary and stuff, but it also you can miss out pops. It's so easy for it to snowball into something worse.
yes, can we get some more modern going? Can we use this to plug modern? I believe
Yeah.
Suede might be working on an update, which I think would be pretty exciting.
Yeah, there's a lot of buzz for modern when it was first released, but people have kind of gravitated back
Going back
towards
to
future.
future.
But I think with like a patch of like some of the issues people were having in patch 1.12, it should renew some interest in the mod. So one of the ideas behind modern is that it's less RNG dependent. So everybody has two turn anarchy. Everybody starts with two settlers, so it's not a big deal if you don't pop. Resources aren't as crucial. Uh, it, they're not as black and white, at least.
Yeah,
And
and the growth is accelerated as well because you have the granary and your capital to start.
true. Yeah, so bad land isn't as punishing.
I actually really like that dynamic as well because there's some interesting interplay with growth and where you place your cities because your capital is going to be the one that immediately grows really fast, whereas your
Yeah.
second city, right? So there's some interplay there as to actually the order in which you plant.
So sometimes I face that dilemma in modern where it's like, so this is the really good city, and I want my granary and my capital to be there, but I have to delay planting the other city a turn to put it there, and I get
Exactly.
greedy. I just want to plant now, now, now.
Uh, Classic. Speaking of greedy, we already have Rabdag with 3 cities.
I don't think that's greedy at all. I mean, given his position, I don't think it's greedy at all. Greedy would be going for two
Yeah, no, I
more.
think it's a fine play. I
Yeah,
just wanted to segue into
yeah. An
Rabdag's
explanation as to
position.
why it's not greedy. So the
Yeah,
thing is, you can actually check F11 to see the biggest cities in the game in terms of culture, but it will tell you how big the cities are. So he can check and he can see how much population Antman has in Beijing, and with that information, he can know, oh, he hasn't drafted yet because he's only size 5, so I can do another settler.
yeah, and it's looking like everyone's doing a pretty decent job growing this game. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't anticipate there being any super early uh, kills, which is sometimes what you see when someone just is struggling to to grow to be able to draft to defend their city.
Yeah, as soon as veteran players like catch a, it's like sharks when there's blood in the water. If there's like a player who planted turn 5 or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we see Halu already drafting here.
But yeah, the thing about Pangea maps is a lot of people are inland, so not only can they not boat other people, but other people can't boat them. So it really
Right.
reduces the impact of boating plays.
Yeah, and the North is definitely looking strong right now. We have 2 players with 3 cities already.
Oh, true. Just gonna do some spies. I'm kind of curious. Abby didn't go for a second worker in Moscow, and he doesn't go for a settler either. So I'm wondering what kind of build order he's going for. Okay, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Oh, Harbor. I don't agree with this. I've been on a warpath
Yeah,
against
that's
this
not a
build.
great.
This is
It's not a great
exactly the
harbor. I mean,
situation where you should
he
not do
only
Harbor.
really has 4 tiles of coast to work,
Yeah.
and he's got some really good. I mean, he's got a uranium tile, and he's got some bonus grassland, forest, river.
Yeah, the river, like, so even if he gets an offshore platform, this coastal tile will only produce the same as this plains tile if you rode and irrigate the plains, which takes 3 worker moves. So it's not a huge investment.
Right,
Uh,
exactly.
so
Especially
yeah, and
compared
it
to the
costs
investment of an offshore platform on top of the harbor. I can
70
understand a
shields,
harbor for
70 shields to
trading.
get that up and running if you're not seafaring, and he isn't seafaring.
Yeah, yeah, certainly.
I got to see this one more time. Is he going? Oh, he's going settler now. Okay. We should teach Abby about underrushing, I think, because he. I'll take a screenshot of this. Yeah, he could have rushed the explorer instead, or no, sorry, I think he might have switched off something because the shields don't add up otherwise.
That's definitely something that I've been trying to work on, and I know it's hard for a lot of new players because you sort of have to know which ones are good for underrushing.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Galleons
such a
are quite
time
useful
crunch.
for underrushing a few different things. Some of the early buildings, rushing that granary is so key.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it can make a difference. Like, it can give you an extra worker basically if you play your cards right, and a worker in early and future is a godsend. I think everybody popped but me and Antman. Not quite. Oh, okay. This is
Interesting.
where's his king?
Those barbs are gonna.
Yeah.
It could actually mess them up pretty bad here.
I can't really fault him for.
Oh, his king's over in the left, top left.
Yeah, yeah.
Bismarck is just chilling. That's a very weird. I would not put my king on the coast like that.
I think he's safe.
I mean,
But
I think there's like a 99% chance he's safe here, but I just not knowing the full map, I would never put my king on the coast like that.
so one thing people underestimate about the potential for king snipes, like if you trap a king, it's good if you can like trap a king with your explorer and your own king and like make it
Yeah,
so the king can't move. But if you just like catch a king open, like you catch them off guard, you get an attack off with a drafted Tau. Kings actually have like a 66% chance to retreat outside of a city. So odds are, like, even if you get that perfect play, you're not actually going to kill the king. So you can be a little reckless with the king, I feel.
yeah. I mean, definitely use it for exploring, but
Mm-hmm.
we're coming up on what 17 turns into the game, and even like a 33% chance to outright lose the game, in my opinion, is pretty bad odds. But
Because generally the Tau boats are coming out around like between turn 12 and turn 17. So
yeah,
I think this is
but he
like
doesn't
just
know
barely.
exactly where the other team is. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it's tough for Witch because he didn't get the pop, and I do think he has to establish himself as sort of a later game carry because he's so far away from so many other
Mm-hmm.
people.
Germany is not a good builder civ either. They don't have anything that speeds up their expansion.
Yeah, he does have a few workers out, which I think is really good.
Yeah, I like that. So one thing is that the barbarians will lock onto any unit that is in the northwest or southeast line of them. So The Barbarian fortified because there was nothing in that line last turn, but now there is. So the Barbarian will actually head towards Leipzig next turn.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that actually how their pathing works?
Oh yeah. Do you want the long form? We'll do it another time. But
I did not know that. That's really interesting.
yeah, so if you put your king right here, the barbarian will always attack the king unless there's like a an open settler or worker or something.
Yeah. Well, at least Witch is bringing back his king, distract the barbarians. I think
Yeah.
that's fine here. Better than
But he is going to lose like production or whatever. I hope he doesn't lose the shields from his chop in Leipzig, but that might be the case.
yep. Do you want to check on what Antman is doing now?
Yeah, sure. So Antman
So
is
he's got a
going.
settler.
I suspect he's going for probably the harbor offshore build, which I don't mind at all. I think this is a good time to do that. Uh, it actually might be better to invest heavily in work. Actually, yeah, I don't actually agree with that here. It's more excusable because he's militaristic. He's got a lot of coastal tiles. But with
He's got the
fascism, the
fish
big thing
too.
you want to get out of fascism is the fast workers, right?
Right.
And if you're going for harbor offshore, it's you're trying to skip the
And
workers and get more commerce. But he's fascism, so he doesn't need commerce.
last game, last time we streamed, Ant was very big on getting out the workers and actually planting forests and then chopping,
Yeah.
which he
Oh,
doesn't
you
seem
see
to
the
be
bar
doing as
moved
much
here.
this game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's got a lot of offshore tiles this game, so I can see why he did it. But I think the slightly better play. I do like what he's doing for Shanghai, going for the double road and like establishing a link as soon as possible.
Yeah. I'm actually a little surprised that is there a settler underneath that towel? What's underneath the towel?
It's a worker. He's doing
Oh,
two
it's a
workers.
worker. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm a little surprised he did not send the settler north to try and hook the oil. I do think his next city plan should definitely be either hooking the oil or if the workers don't hook it right away, then making sure that he gets a really nice location
Yeah, I think
next to the cow, maybe in the ivory.
yeah, to like kind of assert himself in that direction.
Right, because I actually like sometimes to. I know it's often a little bit faster to get the colony up nice and fast, but sometimes it's nice just to have a city in a location or at least near a good
Mm-hmm.
resource, so that
Yeah.
you can't just someone can't just paratroop onto it and then cut your link.
On the other hand, though, they can actually take the city, right? So you have to keep it size one, or else it's a
Of
liability.
course.
Because if they take the
Yeah.
city, so there's trade-offs.
Yep.
But what I was going to say here is, I think the oil will be a priority soon, but it's not a priority immediately for Ant. He's not Republic. He can't just like buy bombers or anything. Um,
Right.
yeah, and either he does
He
have to
could begin
sack.
stacking shields for bombers, but
He is going for the oil though. I think the reason he went for Canton though instead of like a city up this direction is because he wants all these chops. Uh, and if he has those chops, he actually does have a lot of shields, and then he can get a bomber or two out, and
yes,
maybe
certainly. It's interesting though, just because the ivory cow location, if you plant in between those, you get the chop out of the forest there as well,
hmm
and on top of that, ivory cow is a pretty nice combo.
yeah, it's not like he's like swimming in workers in Canton and can like clear this up real quick and then start
Right,
planting more.
right.
Yeah.
But I don't mind it. Do you want to swing up north and check out what those players are doing?
Oh, I think he wanted the rubber actually.
Really? Hmm.
Oh.
That's I like that play from Rabdag.
Yeah, we'll see if he gets lucky. Oh, he should have fortified this. So if you fortify it, you can kind of bluff it and like pretend, yeah, I got two Tau infantry here. What are you gonna do? Attack me? But
Yeah.
yeah, because with the defensive bombard, if you have two, they'll just get wrecked. But with three versus one, I mean, even then, Ant is militaristic. So if he wins a single combat against a non-barbarian unit with that Tau, the Tau will automatically promote. So if he, it's pretty much 50-50 if he attacks with all these units. So
He just hooked the oil. It would be
yeah,
absolutely tragic if he lost the city in the next turn, but
if he can road the rubber, then he can draft a mech. I don't know in fascism if you're industrious, can you have one per turn road? Oh yeah, you do. Yeah.
you can, yeah.
So if he can road here, I don't know. Again, I don't know if his worker has moves, but
I think at least one of them just moved. I don't know if it was that one.
He could also maybe, depending how many shields he has in the bank, he could slave an artillery. Uh,
Yeah.
that's risky though, I think, because you get one guaranteed defensive bombard off, but if you kill someone with defensive bombard, there's no promotion, and then you lose. Oh,
Oh,
walls. Oh,
did
I
he?
actually like the
Wow,
walls.
walls. Okay. There we go. And you draft the mech.
Yeah, so he's got an 85% defense bonus there. Oh, and his
And
king.
oh, the king. The king
That's smart.
underneath.
As long as he's ready to pull out. Uh,
Yeah.
like if I'm
Wow. That,
Rabdag, I see that Antman's got this oil right now, right? So what would you do in Rabdag's position with your 3 Taus?
I would cut the road.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so close.
I was gonna say just
Wow.
YOLO it, yeah.
You were gonna say YOLO it into the city?
Cause yeah, you're just gonna get cleaned up by bombers otherwise, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would have tried to focus on cutting. I think YOLOing to the city is pretty bad odds at that point with the walls and the king and the mech right there. But
I'd say you have like about a 12% chance or something of killing the Tau with the first 2 of your Taus.
yeah.
And then you probably kill the king if that happens. We'll go over to this theater in a
Well,
sec,
we'll
but
see. This is going to be really interesting at the beginning of next turn to see how fast that mech can move into the city.
oh, he's doubling down.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, with mechs being able to be drafted,
Oh, he didn't even go for it. Interesting. But
maybe
yeah,
he
like
just
his
wasn't
other
quick
options
enough.
is he could go home, which I think is with the barb camp here that you can take for 25 gold. Might be the better option. But his other option was to go pillage, but I think he'd get like 1 pillage off before Ant-Man just starts killing his Taus with bombs. So he didn't have a lot of good options there.
Yeah, the timing was like one turn off, which
Mm-hmm.
is always tough, but makes multiplayer exciting, right?
Yeah. I'd be feeling really good about myself if I'm Ant-Man right now with this secure. And let's see what he's getting in Beijing. I bet it's a bomber, but
Yeah, I think Ant played just risky enough, you know.
yeah, I agree. And that's why I said the road down south, the double road, is so important to keep yourself safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
It both helps you hook the oil, it helps you assert yourself north and maybe make an offensive play, and it helps you defend yourself. So there's a lot of advantages to that. And it's not like having 2 workers around in Shanghai is doing you much good when it's at a low
Right.
population. So great play from Ant-Man.
But
What kind of...
meanwhile, we've gotten a lot more city growth,
Yeah.
especially from the northern team.
So
And Cheese has mechs himself. We have Halu making a pretty risky push up north, perhaps to try and hook that oil. But they're going to be running into mechs from Egypt pretty soon, and Egypt also has paratroopers.
I bet he's wishing he had that explorer right now, because he's
Oof.
only got one. He's got only one to defend this, so
Right.
this could probably kill the city.
Oh, and he's seen the worker.
Yeah. Um, and if he gets a bomber in Elephantine, he can just one shot this if he's lucky.
Yeah, and I think that the northern players are doing a really good job taking advantage of their secure position, growing pretty large. Radbag's up to 5 cities actually at this point.
Yeah.
Um,
But
the
I
other
do
players
like
have
how
4,
Cheese and Rabdag are making plays to the south, despite the
and
fact
they're
they're playing kind of
also
greedy.
yeah, exactly, and they're also pressuring. And Abby Manu, I think, is just building big.
Mm-hmm. So this is the hallmark of a great player: how you play greedy, you build a lot of cities and workers, but you still make time to put pressure on the enemy because that relieves pressure on your teammates.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to check on? Let's see, Abby. Okay, and it looks like Halu just has the 3 cities, getting the
Mm-hmm.
toes out. I think his priority is more hooking resources right now.
Yeah. He's about to go for the coal, but there's these
But
mechs
no,
here.
and he only has. Well, I think it's going to be important for him to get Pasigarde up to drafting size.
Yeah.
That's where that fresh water is going to be really key. To be able to have 2 drafting cities for him, I think is going to be important to repel this invasion,
Well, he
or at
doesn't have
least
rubber
these
just yet, so he
forces
can't
here.
do mechs.
Right? But
I
even
think,
from just a volume perspective, in terms of being able to get, a couple toes out.
yeah, it can't hurt, definitely. I think he overextended here. This was a
Yeah,
bad
the
attack.
the thing that's saving Halu though, that was a little bit piecemeal. But the thing that's saving Halu a little is these hills in the jungle is really slowing the ability of Egypt to exert pressure on Halu.
True. Still, I think the better play for Halo here would be to just go to the rubber, get your mechs online, get some bombers so you can control your land, and not overextend for the aluminum.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm not. It's an interesting play.
if he doesn't have any bombers yet, I think Halos might get away with it. But like as soon as like some of these roads get cut and you can like start one shotting these towers with bombers, Halo doesn't have any fighters up yet. So I think that would be a favorable for Cheese. Cheese can also airbase here and start like putting in some modern paratroopers to maybe airdrop around the backline of Halu.
Yeah, Halu's very very weak at home right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's got none of his cities are defended, and he's got a naked bomber, naked king.
Yeah. We'll see if he does that. He's going to the mountain. It's generally good to have air bases on mountains, but if you're going to do that, you delayed yourself a bit. No, I think he's roading up because he's. We'll see what Cheese has.
Cheese is asking if he'll pass him gold.
Yeah, I can't fault him for that. Okay, he's got
Oh,
his one
Cheese got a sub.
bomber.
I'm surprised Cheese got it a sub.
A submarine, yeah. I guess he's kind of worried. I don't know if he got the full scout off. Brilliant.
Nice. That was really nice.
If he like bombs one tile of jungle, that's going to be really difficult for Halu to rebuild, especially having lost a worker in the region. Oh, so what's Abby going for? If I was him, I'd do early factory, early. Oh God, factory already.
Nice. Is he going nuclear plant too?
Yeah, did he? He just went harbor, but not.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
And then he did harbor
Maybe
in
he
St.
thought,
Petersburg too.
and I imagine that he got contact very quickly with his allies, so it's not like he needed the harbor for trading.
Yeah, I mean, if he needs a harbor for trading, he only needs the one.
Right.
That's he can pass aluminum though. He's gonna get something out of the harbor, but I think yeah, I would have just gone straight factory, straight nuclear plant if I was him.
He's got the uranium. He could make more of a late game play.
Yeah. Just from what I'm seeing now, I think they're. It's all going to come down to Halu. If Halu can make this push forward. Ooh, here you see Egypt. Oh, he's out of vision too.
Hmm. I would try and get an airport out in Elephantine.
Yeah, I mean, you know that Halu has oil, so you're going to need fighters to. If you can like get fighters on this airbase, that's such a position of power.
Yeah. How was Oh, there you go. Right on the mountain.
Nice.
How's Ant doing against Radbag here?
Oh, Rapdag actually got
Looks
some
like
pillaging done.
went ahead and cut the road.
Yeah, but he's getting
Not
bombed
not the
out, I
worst
think.
play, but he will eventually lose those units.
We'll see what Antman. Oh, we don't have the spy on Antman.
Of course, our fascist spy fails against the fascist.
We now have an agent in dot dot dot. Ominous. Five cities isn't bad here, but I'd really like to see some more. I think he's putting a lot of pressure on Antman. I do like that he's expanding towards Abimanyu because that I think is the safer place to expand. Whereas if he expands here, then suddenly he has to deal with Antman, paradropping
Yeah,
and building
I would
bombers.
love to see him plant between the firs and that coal there. I think that would be
Yeah,
a
good
really
coastal
nice.
city. Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. Get the coastal, you get the river, you get the firs, you get the coal, and you can start passing. Maybe your team can get rails.
His coastal cities aren't great at the moment. That's not super important in Pangea, but often games will come down to who has the most production in their coastal cities.
Right.
Because it's hard to get naval priority if you have no big production coastal cities. Oh, like I was saying. Oh God, this is
It's quite the push from Cheese, actually.
yeah. What can he do? He can like rush cruise missiles and Gordium, but against that big of a stack, that'll do nothing. He's got the fighter up. Oh, this is amazing. I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing. If you can get the one-shot bomb here.
Looks like Cheese's oil was bombed though. So Cheese will
Oh,
definitely have to try and rehook that.
yeah. Okay, he retreats to safety at least.
Yeah,
If he can get a city right here, that would be. I mean, I think Halu would have an easy time cutting these roads. I do hope he has some. How many bombers does Halu have? 3. Okay. Yeah, if he gets these in Gordium, he could do a lot of damage. I will say that Cheese has invested heavily in land units, so if Halu just brute forces him with a bunch of bombers and cannot die over here, I think he's in good shape.
I think Cheese is making. If he's doing what I think he's doing, he's also making a smart play. If he can hook that aluminum, I think that's going to be very helpful for him to close out. It looks like he's actually in a stronger position right now.
If he can hook Halu's
Um,
aluminum,
no, there's an aluminum in that
ah,
mountain to the west, and if you can hook that, I think that would be very helpful.
oh yeah, like 2 cruise missiles against Gordium, it's gone.
But it's going to be a tough proposition because of the amount of bombers that Halu has. He can always
Mhm.
cut the roads.
Now, if I have one criticism of Cheese, he's playing fantastic right now. I do think he's a bit short of workers.
Yeah, I would say he's a little short of anti-air.
True, yeah,
Um,
a bit of both. I
I
mean, it's
think
kind of like when you have so many resources, there's so many things that you want to build, and
right,
not enough gold.
of course. How is Witch doing in his development? He needs to be really expanding hard here.
I do like what he's doing. Yeah, he's got a lot of cities. Focusing more on irrigation than on mines. I'd like a couple mines in there, but with a lot of forest, it kind of balances out.
I really want to see him hook this oil because I think we're at the point in the game where just cranking out bombers is one of the best things he can do to help out Halu in terms of putting pressure on Cheese's advanced offensive units.
Now, the hard thing is getting those bombers into position. So,
Yep.
from
Well,
Munich, he could bomb the
he should
airbase. That doesn't do
run.
much good.
He should run a worker north. Like he should hook it with a
True,
city
yeah.
and then run a worker north for an airbase.
He'd be running a long time. If he boated one, I think he could get somewhere useful, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cheese is kind of. This is why I'm saying the more workers, because like at the moment he's improved most of the tiles, almost all the tiles he's using. But as soon as one gets bombed, you have nothing to replace it. Whereas
Right.
if you had a few extra work tiles, you could. Yeah, and now the city might disorder because it loses its luxuries. Lots of potential problems from this.
It looks like Ant is asking for aluminum
Okay,
just for a
I
turn
don't
for
know if his team can
upgrades.
actually pass. They need a
No.
road to. Yeah, there's no harbor here.
Yeah, it's got to be with airports, I guess.
Yeah, two militaristic civs wouldn't be too hard, but
That would be something that Witch could do for his team.
yeah, that'd be good. I do think we got a real pressure cooker of a theater here. The fact that Halu is like the top tier captain of his team, and he's being honestly he's on the back foot against Cheese, despite both
Pretty
having
amazing.
strong land, is very
And paratroopers, right onto
yeah.
that mountain there. I think that's definitely the right play. Oh, and they're oh
The King Snipe.
oh the King Snipe, beautiful. Wow, that is ridiculous. What a play from Cheese. Cheese taking out the number one player on the opposing team with a
Number
King
two
Snipe
player on the future start ladder. That's incredible.
paratrooper. What a great play.
Wow.
And the
Imagine
timing
being
was so
Antman
good
right now.
too, because Halle was reacting to the first one, second one drops,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's reacting to both.
Well, because he had an empty city and then the city with his king, right? So it's
Yeah,
like,
and then his capital as well. So
yeah,
he, she's really took an approach that a lot of players were just stacked all three on like a mountain or like on a hill, but she's knew that Halu couldn't possibly have all those cities defended. And
Mm-hmm.
he might get lucky with the king snipe, and he did, and
Yeah.
that's because he put himself in a position to do that.
And I'll say, as a veteran player, my first instinct is always to defend undefended cities. Often, my king kind of like is a second priority, which is absolutely backwards, but that's how it is. Like that's how instincts work. So I think Howley might have been scrambling to protect this empty city, but forgot, oh, that's my king in there. That's the more important unit.
Wow, what a play!
I know. It's pretty much GG from here. Like, what can
Yeah, I
there?
really don't see how the South recovers. Ant, I think, would have to get a king snipe of his own onto Rabdag. That's really, I don't see Witch making a play right now. He's just too
Mhm.
far out of position.
But the thing is, they
And
have no aluminum. It's just,
yeah,
is he going for armies or something?
he's the one player we don't have a spy with yet. So
Yeah,
there
he
we
is
go.
going for armies.
Armies, okay, that's a play, but definitely unlikely at this point.
Yeah, you're going to see these paratroopers start pushing to which he doesn't have enough. He has fewer towers than he has cities. And of course, as soon as he gets a worker down there too, he can set up his bombers. Yeah, this
Yeah,
he's
and,
dead eventually.
and I know Abby Manu was working on a nuclear plant, so he is probably set up for some really strong late game production.
Oh yeah, let's check him out. He's going for a
Move
wonder actually.
to Sun Tzu's, okay.
Often they people like because you can see in F11 what people are or in F7 what people are doing. So often they'll try to throw off their enemies and uh,
Yeah, who
not
know he could
reveal.
switch.
Yeah, it could be his Golden Age wonder, which is Newton's University, I think. Could be Manhattan Project even. If they fully scouted the enemy team and know that they have no uranium any. Okay, they do have uranium.
Well, barely until Cheese takes it away.
Oh, Abby went for a boat. He has two Taus, and both of them are at home. Okay, so there's nothing scary in the boat.
Yeah, I'm very impressed at how Cheese was able to really keep up that pressure. He got quite a few paratroopers out as well.
True. I think the early barracks. I mean, I often neglect barracks, but they are a very important building. It just feels so bad to have regular units. The extra hit point to like tank, especially in like a mod with so much bombing and bombardment, it's just so crucial to have the extra toughness, the hit point. Yeah,
Okay, and
how?
the army's out. He's gonna load it up with some decent offensive units here.
But he didn't really prioritize workers, so he doesn't even have the road leading to Rabdag. What does Rabdag actually have?
Maybe that'll play into the surprise.
I like the aluminum coming out from him.
A
I think
little
he
bit
lost
light
a lot of
on.
his Taus.
Yeah, I would say he's pretty light on defensive units because of those towers being lost.
Okay, I think Antman can kill him, but
I
Antman
would
just.
also say he really needs to have something scouting that hill near their barbarian,
Mm-hmm.
uh, because there's nothing preventing that army from walking straight up.
And that's the thing about Future. I find that it is so hard to get vision because all the units in Future are so expensive.
Exactly. Yeah,
Uh, I
it's
mean, the
definitely
cheapest
tough.
thing is an Explorer, but that would die to barbs right here.
Yeah, or just put it on explorer on the neck, right? The sort of spit of land connecting
Mm-hmm.
Shanghai to Dot.
But yeah, I mean, the attacks can come from any angle. It can come from here, it can come from here, it can come from here, and it can come just straight over land. So it is very hard to give sentries against all possibilities in Future. And if he's reconning, maybe he'll see what Ant-Man's up to. Okay, so which has oil for at least a turn. If he has some gold, he can crank out some bombers and start to defend against this. Oh, Ant Man is bombing.
the third time we've tried to spy.
Ah, the hacks.
Oh, dude, Antman, stop hacking with your anti-spy defense.
Mm-hmm. So here are the three tanks. He
The
needs
three
to. He
tanks
should be
that
doing in
are
Shanghai. He
gonna
should be doing
save.
workers so he can double road here. Because even if
Yeah,
I guess if you get a double move and you get the cap, right?
yeah. I mean, I really Ant making a bold play like this is pretty much the only way I can see this coming back.
Yeah.
It could work though. I mean, we'll see.
He could use helicopter to reinforce too. Oh, he was just pre-building a nuclear plant. Okay, I see.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's Abby needs to start moving now that the nuclear plant is out of the way. Move into wartime ideally and just start cranking units.
Mm-hmm. Now I think Cheese can start. He's the only one who's not really investing in infrastructure so much. I don't know if he's got any buildings coming out in his capital, but he's still short on workers, which I'm not such a fan of.
Wow, that's actually more built up than I expected.
Oh yeah, focus on happiness. I like that. Like mechs for drafting, they're just such
Yeah,
an
quite good.
amazing unit. Religious civs, of course, get the cheap happiness buildings, so he didn't invest that many shields into it.
And
That's a great way to
and
like,
so versatile too.
yeah. And you're starting to see fighters coming out from which. Okay, so what are you doing with this army, Ant?
It's the ant army, Suede.
Is army ant a type of ant?
Yes, that's right.
Huh. I think someone pointed out that Ant-Man of all people should be building a lot of workers because there are worker ants.
Yeah,
And as far as I know, his name is literal, like a literal Ant-Man, not like the Marvel superhero, but
yeah,
a
just
man.
a man ant.
Yeah. His profile picture is just an ant. He has a very non-ant-like playstyle, though. Sometimes he can grow big.
Yeah, he grew pretty big in his last stream, but
Mm-hmm.
Ant does have a very unique playstyle.
He does, yeah. And very idiosyncratic, and also he can vary within his own playstyle. But there's certain tropes that you pick out, especially me having spectated a few of his games now. Common plays that he goes for, or uh, common builds that he prefers.
I love seeing him do the worker plants and then worker chop.
Yeah, I mean sometimes it's optimal. I
I
rarely find a
mean,
way to work it into my games, but
10 shields every 2 turns is nothing to scoff at.
mm-hmm. Okay. Ant-Man's gonna get a bit messed with the forest here, so he can double onto the forest, and then 1, 2, 3. He could go for herb, but then it would be only one. Oh no, he'd be able to do a double move, so he could hit it 3 times actually.
Excuse you, that's not that's dot. Period.
Why was I calling it
Oh man.
I don't even know. Helicopter. Maybe that was the line of
Wow,
thinking.
that's a bad pun even for you, Slade.
I'm just wondering how my brain got there. So Rabdag is going to have Damascus up as a second drafting city, but he's really suffering from the lack of units here. He's vulnerable in all kinds of directions. His capital isn't properly guarded, and barbarians are going to be a pain. Oh, and his colony too. So I will say that the game is effectively over. But if often when I'm like in a very 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 favorable position, especially like 4v2 or something like that, I think what is the one play they
how
could
can you
possibly
lose?
do
Yeah.
that would screw me over completely?
Yeah, what is the one risk here?
Even if it's
And
like something ridiculous, like they'd have to like be reading your fucking mind to get it.
it's quite funny because actually, Abimanyu is also very weak at home. Like the two players that, in theory, should be two of the biggest growing players
Hmm.
are actually very, very weak.
Yeah,
I mean, we're 35 turns into the game right now.
and I mean, I did kind of something kind of similar in my last game, but my excuse was that I had no rivers or lakes. I had no drafting cities aside from my capital, and I needed my capital to be like a hyper carry city. I needed to grow very tall. They both have doubled, like two drafting cities at least. So
Russia has what, four? I think in theory, like they could
yeah,
get up to four, if I'm reading the map right.
I think yeah, you're correct.
So
He should just be drafting in St. Petersburg. Especially, he went harbor in St. Petersburg. I assume he wants the border expand so he can actually use the coastal tiles. So he could go for like a cultural building. That would also give him the happiness for drafting.
a hospital in his capital as well.
Let's see what's actually in his capital. Oh, he does have the cultural building here. Okay, so
He had a hospital in Moscow.
so in future, most of the wonders give you allow you to grow past size 12. So I prefer just going for wonders in place of hospital. A lot of the wonders have other bonus effects, like Sun Tzu's produces a special forces every 4 or 5 turns, and then Magellan's gives you destroyers every so and so turns, and gives you +1 commerce in all
Oh,
tiles. It's ridiculous.
Magellan's on Archipelago is just Bay.
Yeah, it's oh my
So
god.
good. Do you want to check in on how Witch is doing here?
Sure thing.
Wow. Okay, that's a fair bit of mechs.
So he doesn't have. It looks like he's walking the worker down rather than roading, just so he can get the airbase, which I like. He could repair the infrastructure here, but I think he'd need a lot more workers for that. So better just get your airbase out so you can start bombing. Coast cleared.
36 turns into the game.
Oh, so they can trade resources and
Yeah.
lux. Oh, interesting. Wonder what's
Oh
in this
wow.
transport.
Okay.
Antman is completely empty at home. This
Can we
is
check what Radbag has in terms of units overall?
okay. We're about to see an attack here. I think 4 towers and a flak.
So maybe a Tau? No, probably not.
Unless his cap is absolutely empty. Well, we could check right now. We might as
Yeah,
well.
it could be one Tau, I guess.
Tower and a flak.
Hmm.
So the transport's empty.
Wow. Yeah, that's he's gotten the army up there without being spotted yet.
Okay. All he'd have to do is, what is this Tau doing here? Why doesn't he just walk on the mountain?
Oh, I'm getting nervous for Radbag. I would hate to see him lose his cap at this point in the game,
Mm-hmm.
but that would just be it.
So I like what
Indicate
Ant-Man
that,
did with the end of turn move there. So if he
yeah,
did see an Arab unit, he could try like the desperation one attack because he only has
yeah,
3 movement points here. He could attack once if he did it right now, but since he's not spotted, he might as well wait till end of turn and then try to attack
yeah,
multiple
really,
times with the blitz.
yeah, really nice.
So yeah, you see often you see good unit micro from Ant-Man.
Does Radbag have a city in B8?
Where, sorry?
B8. He's a city on the island, I think.
Yeah, he went for the aluminum.
Oh, I see, I see. Nice.
Egyptian paratroopers. I like that heads up.
Yeah, when the notification comes down, it's
Useful
always
for us,
exciting.
yeah. So yeah, I don't fault Ant-Man for being completely empty at home here because it's
He's making the play he needs to
yeah,
try and win the game.
it's probably over anyway, but you can't be playing safe when you're fighting for even the
If
chance for the
Ants
game to be
if
competitive.
Ants successfully takes the capital or King Snipes Rabdag, the ultimate comeback.
Yeah, I think they'd still lose, to be honest. I think they'd still be like 95% favorite to lose if you king snipes right now.
Yeah, I think still unfavorable,
Because
but
his team's they're both so far behind in infrastructure. They have no aluminum,
yeah.
and they're not making any efforts to hook.
Yeah, he would actually really just have to take as many of Rabdag cities as possible, really.
Okay. Is Rabdag paying attention? He's not drafting. Holy shit! The king! The king! Attack again for the king! Oh!
Oh, so close.
Oh! What was in
There
there?
has to be like nothing in the city now except
The Tau he just put in. Yeah, it was just the
the
king left.
town. Oh, dude, he could have had it. Honestly, if he lets, uh, yeah, well,
He started bombing a bit. That's why I took some damage.
yeah.
Yeah, I think he. So we didn't see. Yeah, okay. So we didn't see a draft come
But
out
the
from Damascus
rails,
during the attack. I think what he did is he
yeah,
immediately drafted in his cap. That's the fastest way
yeah.
to put a unit in, and that saved him.
That was definitely nail biting though. That was close.
Yeah, I would have liked it if it turned out a little bit better than that, but
Yeah, it definitely would have made the game more competitive.
yeah.
But such an exciting early game, I think,
Hmm.
between Cheese and Hallow here. Really made this a fun game to cast.
Yeah, I like that kind of dynamic, like multi, like two theaters. Like if it's just like all air combat, it's kind of dull. But like mix of air and sea, or mix of air and land, or land and sea, makes for a great, entertaining match of Future Start.
And it looks like Rabdag does have a carrier of his own.
Mm-hmm. I would have even sent some mechs ahead if I was Antman, just to see if I could do something. I don't know.
Yep.
He's gonna go for the attack. Nope, he's healing. Okay. Okay, yeah, the army's about
And
to
yeah,
get
we have a
sniped with
cruise
the cruise missile, I think.
from Abby here. And another cruise here from Rabdag.
And the snipe. Army dead.
So wait, it's not really a snipe if they're just sitting on 2 HP on a visible mountain.
Yeah, if you kill it by itself, it's a snipe. Fantastic, huh?
Oh
Were you
wow, yeah,
attacking with drafts? If you attacked with drafts, you kind of deserve it.
oh.
What's the
Do it
defense on
again.
these 12? Oh, God, it feels like so much more. Modern Terror Troopers are just ridiculous units, I feel.
They're probably one of my favorite units to just abuse.
Yeah. I need to start working them
I
into my
remember
build
when you
more.
first
Ironclad uses them a lot, so that's how you know they're good.
when you first I think they're fairly okay in modern, but when you first introduced them, man, they were so it took us like a couple of days to convince you to. You didn't think that they were that, but then it was like immediately apparent once you got like destroyed by them the first time.
Okay, no, I nerfed them once I just looked at the stat bar and looked at comparable units
But then we
in
had to
terms
nerf them
of
again.
cost and resources. But then I had to nerf them again a ton because I got my
Yeah.
ass kicked by them. How does Ant even have any gold? He's must be running on fumes at this point. So we got some time at the end of the match. Any thing you want to plug or uh, yeah, you want to plug anything?
I'd like to plug modern. We need to play more modern.
True. Okay, well, I will link in the description of this video. I'll link the Discord where we organize our games, and I will also link a guide to Modern and the scenario in case you want to play single player before you dip your toe in the multiplayer pool. But yeah, we
Yeah.
will be trying to host some games in the next week of Modern, and it should be a lot of fun. So if you watched the Modern tournament when it was first posted on our channel, um, the game has changed a lot since then. The early game, the meta for the tournament was all focused on bombers and cruises and nothing else. But both of those units have been nerfed, so you'll see a lot more land combat. Uh, like just landing someone with 6 tanks and just stack attacking their capital is now viable, which I absolutely love. That's something that Future is missing. So
Yeah,
happy with the
definitely.
meta.
And hopefully we can maybe cast a few of those games,
Yeah,
or at
true.
least stream them, and Suede's viewers will be able to experience the glory of modern.
Yeah, 1.13.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, I would plug the Discord, specifically the memes and politics channel.
Oh yeah, those have been so good lately. We finally solved the flame wars, guys. If you got scared off, you can come back.
No, what? We need new Flame Wars. The Flame Wars are
Oh
what
yeah, if
makes
you
it
want more flame wars, then
spicy.
you have to come flame people.
Yeah.
Yeah, Antman actually is starting to post YouTube content. It's kind of like straight out of like 2005 YouTube. So if that's your thing with like the blaring electronic
Techno
music,
music.
no audio. The video is actually quite good. It's sped up 3 times, like half hour, like hour and a half games of Civ 3 condensed into half an hour just by speeding them up, and then with written captions over the video.
Yeah, certainly. Just different style, but it's nice if you just want to relax and
Yeah, I mean, it
chill
lets
for
you
a little
actually
bit.
watch a game all the way through. I realize most people they probably skip through when they watch my videos, which totally okay. But if you want like to digest the whole thing in one sitting, then maybe Ant-Man's content's for you. But yeah, I'll definitely link his channel in the description to this video. Uh,
Excuse you, Suede. I only listen to your videos for your soothing voice for ASMR. Yeah. Suede, next video, ASMR video.
I'm like one of those rare mumbling AMSMRs, you know.
Yeah,
I really, yeah, that's what people like.
yeah. Or just a video of all of the obscure Civ 3 sounds. So it's like a sound of like a worker grunting when he's like mining.
Okay, I really hope nobody is watching my videos for ASMR because I just laughed super loudly into the microphone, and if someone's like trying to like relax or fall asleep, they just got like a jolt of lightning into their headphones.
People should be wide awake for this exciting future
Yeah,
game,
very active experience.
which is pretty much over, but
Mm-hmm. Oh, a second army coming. Oh yeah, here comes the
another
bombers.
army, another one.
If he recons here, he'd see the empty king.
Yeah, Ant has nothing. Oh my gosh. And just look at the difference in terms of player scores as well.
I do like which. I'm impressed with his infrastructure here. He's been able to hold and build despite the RNG, which I mean it's predictable RNG. Like it's the kind of bad RNG you should be prepared to expect, but it is still bad RNG. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But yeah, despite all that, he's grown very big. He's got a lot of workers. I like that. A lot of cities.
Yeah, I think he's doing decently well, considering he doesn't really have a lot of key resources.
He's holding his oil. I think Cheese should have invested more into like getting a road, more workers down here, so he could reinforce this attack more easily. Because it's going to be painfully slow getting more units down.
Yeah.
And Cheese also. Oh, look at Heliopis. This is hurting him. So if he just built one worker early on, he would be getting an extra. Oh, not Thebes. Yeah, he'd be getting an extra 5 gold, um, and 3 shields potentially, or 3 food, whichever. Just by building one worker early on, it's such a crazy return on investment. He's actually going
Right.
for double battleship. I
A
mean, if he's
double bat,
actually
I guess.
concerned about losing this
Just,
game, that's
I guess, just you can. Why not?
yeah. If you're concerned about losing the game, I'd say
I'd
battleships is
probably
a good
go
way to press your
destroyer, but
advantage. But I just want to
yeah,
close it out, and battleships don't exactly close it.
yeah. I mean, if you're gonna scout the coast, I would just probably go destroyer. But
Mm-hmm. Ant-Man actually went hospital. But yeah, you're gonna see this that Ant-Man's also missing. Crap. The lack of workers is hurting him too. Oh, not super bad actually. He is getting a lot of work out of this offshore platform in the harbor.
yeah, I guess that is one thing that's. I mean, in that position, it's definitely nice. But also, it's really good because obviously ocean tiles cannot be bombed.
Yeah, true. But when he does get bombed here, it's devastating because he loses his supply line.
Yeah, I wonder what Abimanyu is up to. I wonder if maybe he'll go nukes.
He has this play he loves where he does like double transport with a bunch of mech infantry and a billion cruise missiles.
Hmm. I mean,
Sometimes an
I
MA
think
army.
that would probably close it out if he could get it down there.
It would, yeah, against either player.
Might take a while though.
So one thing you can do in future, if you guys want some future tips, is you can go for the Naval Academy. So the Naval Academy gives you +2 ship moves, and it's like a 60 shield small wonder, very affordable. It sounds pretty good. It's actually absolutely amazing. I can't stress enough how much of a difference that the extra mobility gives your naval attacks. You can just run circles around people with it.
And it looks like Ant is going for the paratrooper army this time.
Yeah, I mean, I hope Rabdag is wise and he's started to recon or defend his capital. Not really.
Hmm. Yeah, that's pretty weak. He's
Oh, he
got
does have
one cruise
the
missile.
Tau infantry on hand though.
Yeah, we'll see if he can recognize the attack quickly. Maybe he can cruise it.
Yeah,
But cruise missiles do take a little bit of time to get off.
I know. I'm just not seeing. Oh, here it is.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's the paratrooper army I was talking about.
so that will get to the front line fast. If he doesn't have a paratrooper there.
Cheese apparently, oh no, that's Witch. Apparently intercepted 5 bombers.
Good for him. Yeah.
This fighter is putting in work. And it looks like Egypt is eventually, they are pushing that settler down.
Yeah, Antman is fully cratered in his capital. He still has the offshore, of course, but Egypt. Okay, yeah, he's finally investing in his infrastructure.
And Ant somehow is funneling Witch gold.
Yeah, where's this gold coming from, Ant?
Ant's stop hacking. Ant's actually running some crazy wild hacks here.
I guess he's got a lot of coastal tiles, and that produced a lot of commerce. Yeah, early Muscarino over here. So he has 193. I don't know how he has 193 gold. Guess killing barbs maybe. Ha! You are allowed to rage quit at any time, which. You don't have to hang out and watch Ant-Man get cratered. Yeah, and this is about the mid to late game period where Abimanu starts to come online if you let him build. If you don't let him
Classic.
build, he plays more conventionally. If you do let him build, he doesn't build especially fast, but he builds hard.
The classic Agumanu.
Yeah. I like to joke in QC that he'll let all his allies die and then try to 1v4, and then some of the time he
Well,
succeeds.
sometimes he does it. In QC, I think he's particularly
I've seen
good
the
at
the
it.
100 cav Leonardo's workshop stack. It's intimidating.
Leo's Workshop has to be one of my favorite wonders.
Oh, absolutely.
So nice. So cheap.
Yeah, the walls are kind of closing in. So one of the difficulties here is he can't really get cruise missiles to the front line. If he had one cruise missile here, bam, he can just take Munich, but doesn't have the cruise missiles. And the cruise missiles are cheap. They're like 30 shields or 35 shields. The issue is getting them into the right place.
Yeah, cruise missiles in the future.
Yeah, God.
So strong, as Suede experienced yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, in that case, it wasn't so much of an issue of the strength, but more of how early they're available.
The speed.
In modern, you have to research the tech first, because in modern, there's a tech tree. Uh, but in future, like, Halu did a play where he went for 2 Tau infantries, 2 cruise missiles, and he just landed them on me turn 22. So at that point, I had like 3 drafted Taus, my king, and an artillery, which is good defense for that part of the game. But 2 cruise missiles will just, yeah, bomb the king. You take the capital, or you kill the king. The one shot. There's no question. Of course, if you scout someone, then there aren't even a lot of great options for defending against cruise missiles in futures. It's not like modern. But you could like sink the boat. You could like build a frigate and try to sink the boat. But Halu actually did it blind. He didn't even know where I was. He just sent the galleon out, and I'd say get lucky, but yeah, he's probably bound to find someone eventually at a
Uh,
vulnerable time.
we also told him we knew where a couple of people were that weren't you, and told him not to go in
Oh,
those directions because we wanted him to kill you.
not
So
ironclad. Why not ironclad?
we didn't know where Ironclad was,
Oh, okay. Did you know where
but
Ant
we
was?
I think someone knew where Ant was, and I knew where obviously um, the new guy was.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
I said,
eventually Beebs just straight up found me, but that was like 2 turns before Halu landed, or one
yeah.
turn. It
So
was just back to back on 2 coasts.
I knew where the new guy was, and I told
Yeah,
Halu
I've had
not to go in
a
that direction because
frustrating
I
run
could.
of future games these past few days,
Yeah,
for different reasons, but
yeah, definitely that's fair. It looks like
mhm.
Witch did end up retaking that city eventually.
Well, good for him. Probably lost some buildings, but
And does Ant have that pair? Oh, okay.
what
Maybe
happened?
what did he try and attack, or was he attacked?
Or was he just getting bombed?
Huh.
Okay, so I like the additional length of this video just in case people want, so it doesn't spoil, like the length of the video doesn't spoil what happens in the game. Uh,
Yeah,
but this has reached a very non-interactive part.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like this is just slowly degrading,
So yeah,
but
I'll just
not.
put this out for people. Reply in the comments. What kind of content do you want out of this YouTube channel in terms of multi? I realize I've been doing more focus on multiplayer content lately. It's honestly just been easier to do because I play multiplayer games anyway. But if there's any kind of content you want in terms of multiplayer or single player, let us know in the comments. And we do have tigers now for the double cast, which I think it makes a lot of difference for the casted games.
I think it helps with just overall exhaustion too.
Okay.
There you go, and Ant's
Yeah.
out. Okay.
It helps to have someone to riff off instead of absolute silence. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed. And yeah, we'll see you next time.